Hello, nerds. Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your comic book week of April 30th, 2018, also known as the first week of May, also known as the week of Free Comic Book Day. We're going to be talking all about that stuff and what's going on in the comic books right after this.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
This video is coming out a little bit differently than normal because Free Comic Book Day is tomorrow as I'm filming this, but yesterday as you're watching this. So the supplemental came out before the comic book video did, just because I wanted to get some Free Comic Book Day footage, because I feel like not a lot of people know about Free Comic Book Day, so what better way to show them than with video, right? So I'm sorry if you were expecting this yesterday, but there's some cool stuff at the end, so stick around. First, though, in the news, we're talking about Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, I said the one that's coming to the Nickelodeons and not one that already has a comic book, but they are making a comic book, a kind of prequel for the series. It's not going to be a series of books, unfortunately, at least not now. Right now, it's only going to be issue number 0, and it's going to be kind of, the purpose, it looks like, is to kind of get us acclimated to these new turtles so that we can kind of see them in action before we actually see them in action. IDW is putting it out, and it's the same writer that did the 2016 miniseries. Matthew K. Manning is the guy that did it. So he's writing it. Art is by Chad Thomas, who is also a veteran of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles titles. He's done a few of them over at IDW, so he's no slouch in that department. But I feel like this is good marketing. I honestly would have hoped to see like a 5-issue arc happen before the series starts, but I mean, get it where you can get it, right? So that's the end of Turtles. Next, we're kicking over to Batman, and with the wedding of Batman and Catwoman, we've got an interesting thing happening. So back before the New 52, back in like 2009, I want to say, it might have been 2010, there was a book called Batman Incorporated that was just starting. It was a Grant Morrison book, and effectively what it was doing was putting Bruce Wayne Batman as an international figure, and then there was going to be a Batman for like each country or each continent, each country in certain areas, but continent in other areas. It was a little not super specific, but it was still very interesting, because then you had like a franchise of Batman, right? So that didn't end up happening because New 52 happened and kind of rebooted everything, and then we got another reboot, and now we're in Rebirth. So yeah, we're getting back to that though, but this time the writer is Tom King, who's been writing the books, and it's a little less of a permanent situation. This is just because Batman and Catwoman are getting married, and so they're going to go on their honeymoon. So it seems that, somebody has to step into the Cape and Cowl. Dick Grayson, who was going to be Batman to Damian when Batman Incorporated was a thing, Dick Grayson is stepping into the Cape and Cowl. One of the articles I read about this said that it was Batman who did this, who put Grayson in the Cape and Cowl so that they could make it look like Batman and Bruce Wayne were not the same person. But if you read some of the preview pages, it looks like this is kind of a source of contention between Bats and Grayson. Oh wow, brain just shut off for a second. I don't know. Either way, I feel like the the conflict version of that, the one where Grayson steps in because Bruce is leaving, not because Bruce tells him to while he's gone, but because Grayson says, well, somebody needs to be Batman when Bruce is gone. I feel like that one is a little more compelling of a read, but still could potentially be. I mean, there's obviously more ways to create drama, and it doesn't have to be between the Bat family. It just seems that they've been doing a lot of Bat family issues recently, so let's continue with those issues, right? So yeah, new Batman happening. Lee Weeks is going to be the artist for this story arc, and the first issue for it is coming out July 18th. I do believe this is the start of a new story arc. This is not a continuation of the story arc that we're in right now that's leading into Bruce and Selina getting married. So check it out July 18th when it hits stands. Next, we're talking about Action Comics number 1000. The big milestone book is on shelves now. So spoilers, if you have yet to read it, go grab yourself a copy, because it is, of any of the books that have come out in the last 2 decades, you can never say what's going to become a collectible beforehand. Except for in a case like this, because this is such a monumental achievement for DC. So Action Comics number 1000, we talked about it before because it's kind of an amalgamation. It's a collection of a few different stories, and this is also the book that marks Brian Michael Bendis taking over the series. So we talked a couple weeks ago not only about the fact that it's, you know, an anthology, but Bendis is going to be introducing a new character, a new villain, to be specific, that has ties to Krypton. And we were making conjectures about who that might be, how successful it's going to be. I still am on the fence as to the success of this character, but we do know who the character is now. The new character is Rogol Zar. He also marks another retcon for the death of Krypton. Rogol Zar claims that he was the one, he's the reason that Krypton exploded. He was the one that killed all the Kryptonians. So yeah, it's, I don't know, I feel like Bendis is taking a really big bite, and we'll see if he's able to chew that thing. But yeah, so Rogol Zar is on Earth to eliminate the remnants of Krypton, which is Superman and Supergirl. So yeah, and also in this book we got the undeath of Jor-El. We found out that Jor-El might not actually be dead, so there could be 3 remnants of Krypton. We'll see what happens as Bendis picks up and starts running with this series. Next on our list, and actually last on our list, we're going to cut away to future me at Free Comic Book Day, and we'll do all the closing stuff from Free Comic Book Day. So, passing it on. It is officially Free Comic Book Day. We just stopped at the shop that's right up the street from the house because I forgot the memory card. I couldn't shoot there, but I was going to say before we went in there that the best way to do Free Comic Book Day is because most comic book shops limit what you can get, how many books you can get, because there's a whole list. And actually the list is a lot shorter than what's actually there for Free Comic Book Day. And anyone who is unfamiliar with the holiday, as it were, it's not just whatever comics. They have there's written specifically for Free Comic Book Day. They're labeled with the Free Comic Book Day logo and stuff. So yeah, the best way to do it, because comic book shops will stop you from getting all of the comics because they only have so many, is go hit up a couple of them. So now we're going to jump up to Fort Collins, and I'm actually going to get some shots. We're going to jump up to Fort Collins and go to a comic book shop up there that we go to a lot and get some more free comics. Oh, so it would seem the Fort Collins comic book shop is crazy busy today for Free Comic Book Day. and I'm gonna shoot a little B-roll of this because this is kind of amazing.
I don't know where you are these days, but I still love you.
So yeah, that's the line, and when we get inside we're going to shoot a little bit more, but it's kind of incredible. This is why you do multiple comic book shops, because the big popular comic book shop is going, we don't even know what the limit is here, so did they tell you? It's going to be 3? So yeah, it might be 3 books. Again, we were super lucky. When you're a regular at a smaller comic book shop, sometimes they let you grab a couple extras. Like we got 5 instead of the regular 3 at the last comic book shop because we're regulars there. We haven't been regulars at this comic book shop for a long time, so probably nothing special, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get a little bit more B-roll now.
Free comic book day books. There are people there to give recommendations and ask questions and stuff, so feel free to ask the questions. For those of you who came with children, the comics are arranged from most appropriate to least appropriate, so pay attention where they're grabbing comics from. Up in the front window, as you get to the front of the line, there are examples of all of the comic books we have available today, so take a look and see what you're interested in. We're going to ask that you limit it to your favorite 3 comic books, and we gave you bags just so you can all put your comics in your bags and not lose them or anything. Once you get through the comics, inside the store there are people doing demos, and there are artists and authors doing signings, so feel free to talk to them. And there are a bunch of people in purple shirts, volunteers and staff there to answer questions, so feel free to chat with them. And these signs are pretty accurate, so this is sitting around 20 minutes. You guys back there, you're sitting around 30 minutes. We're moving people as quickly as possible. So thank you guys all for your patience. I appreciate it.
I still love you. Goodbye.
Where are we going?
So that is Free Comic Book Day. Thank you guys for watching Weekend Nerdom Comic Books Edition for the first week of May. Free Comic Book Day is always the first Saturday of May, so I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm mentioning it now. If you like the episode, click the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, all the things that we always say at the end of the video. Website, generallynerdy.net. Patreon is patreon.com/generallynerdy. You can go support the channel, buy swag, all that stuff. Falling behind in your nerd news and you want to catch up, click or tap the button right there to the left of my face to do that, or there's a button above it that's going to be something else. I'm going to shoot some B-roll of some chicken wings, because we're getting some chicken wings for lunch today. But before we do that, before we do any of the stuff and click on the things and go visit the websites or anything like that, guys, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.